Making his way to the Cage Aggression Octagon is Tim Garrett, 6'2", fighting out of Marshalltown, Iowa, and War Party MMA. He enters the Octagon tonight with a win-loss record of 4-4. Having a chance to speak with Tim before the fights, he mentioned that he had the flu as of Monday. So I don't know if you've ever had that type of situation, Zach, but I could only imagine how hard it is to be training for a fight, trying to go through a weight cut probably, and you know maybe the flu helped him with the weight cut, but I can't imagine that it would be something that you would say, yeah, I think this is a good flu, but you know I don't know how that would affect me as a fighter if I had to come in, you know, coming off of something like that less than a week ago.
Yeah, you know, I've never really had to deal with anything like that. I've had some problems on fight day because of weight cuts and things like that, but never a flu. I mean, that seems terrible. And you're right, it probably would help with a little bit of a weight cut, you know, them cold and hot sweats and, you know, the throwing up and the loss of appetite. But, I mean, that's definitely not a way to do a weight cut.
Yeah, I don't think
you still got to eat and you still got to be healthy, man.
Right, I don't think he aimed for that, so I hope that he's able to have shaken it off over the last week.
Yeah, Tim Garrett, though, you know, coming from the middle of Iowa, Des Moines. I know he's trained with Josh Neer some, and now he's with War Party, which is a very credible gym in that area. You know, he's a gamer. He's a tough son of a gun, and you know, he's still going to be out here, and he's still going to give it his all tonight.
Now making his way to the Cage Aggression Octagon is his opponent, Rory Swartz. 5'8", fighting out of Moline, Illinois, in Top Shape Gym. He enters the competition tonight with a win-loss record of 5 wins and 2 losses.
Rory Swartz, man, the only thing.
It's been a while.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
And the first thing that pops into my head when I think of Rory Swartz is he is the rubber man.
Yes.
That dude is made of rubber. I don't think he has
flexible.
a bone in his body.
Yep. I know Gumby is kind of old school, but I mean, man, I can't think of a better nickname than something like that for him.
Yeah, but you can't take Gumby away from Jeremy Horn. That's Jeremy Horn's name, damn it.
Yeah.
You can't take that away from
Maybe
Jeremy
Rory
Horn.
can borrow it just for a little bit.
No, the name is retired to Jeremy Horn, all right? No more Gumby. He could be the rubber band man, even though that's T.I.
A 2-year layoff. How does that work? How do you come back from being 2 years? I mean, is it like riding a bike?
No, it's definitely it's a slow process, man. You can't rush it. You really can't, you know. And you got to take your time, and you got to realize that right when you get in there, and you just got to put in the work, man. You can't go in there full blast right away. Work into it, and you'll get back, man. Just stay positive.
Yeah, and knowing Rory and you know his methodical ways, he definitely is not rushing into this. You know, he's a very slow motion fighter, a very good thinker. He's probably been training for a long time, and he's well prepared for this fight, especially against a guy like Tim Garrett.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is scheduled for 3-minute rounds in the Cage Aggression welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighed in at 170 pounds. He trains with War Party MMA. Joining us from Marshalltown, Iowa, Tim the Record Garrett. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 170 pounds. He trains at Top Shape Gym. Joining us from Moline, Illinois, Rory Gumby Schwass.
Tim Garrett in the red corner, Rory Swartz in the blue corner. Your referee for tonight's action is Ben Wilson. Jeremy J.D. Dorsey here on commentary tonight, along with Josh Neal and Zach Mickelwright. Let's watch some fights.
Man, I just got punked out by Jason, man. He just called him Rory Gumby Schwass.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a talk with these guys. Nice shots there by Tim. And Rory on his back already, but he is totally comfortable.
Yeah,
being here.
he's cool with this.
You'd think Garrett would want to, he's obviously the bigger, longer guy. He would want to keep it long and stand. He wouldn't want to rush in like that, especially knowing how Rory is on the ground. So it's kind of shocking to me that he would do that right there.
Yeah, he seems very very apprehensive, though, being on the top. I think he knows what he's into right now. And I think he's going to do a good job of staying postured. And if he gets any space, he's going to stand back up.
It's a big hammer fist down, but
Yeah,
not connected.
He's doing a good job. And I see this again. Rory's doing the same thing that the last guy was doing, keeping his legs locked. I'm not a big fan of that. I know that he's a big guard guy, very offensive off his back, but at the same time, man, you got to create space in order to get submissions. You got to create space to get back up. Working a little rubber guard here.
Yeah, you can definitely see that flexibility coming into play right now. Trying to isolate that left arm shoulder area, it looks like.
Very precise with his movement. As you see, he's still sticking right there to that one movement. Garrett powers out and laying some bombs now.
Oh, he's being very aggressive on top, which is a good thing. If he's got his hands covering his face, he's not working for underhooks. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. He's keeping him defensive, which is a good thing to do against a guy who's super offensive off his back.
Coming up on less than 1 minute left in this first round of the matchup between Tim Garrett and Rory Swartz.
He's doing a lot of damage on top.
Got a leg here. Just powers out of it. Definitely the more powerful guy here.
Yeah, he's pretty big. I feel like he's considerably bigger than Schwass. He is landing some really good shots here.
Oh, nice up kick. Wow.
Big round there by Garrett, I'd have to say. Stayed on top and laid some hammers down.
Yeah, he threw a lot of punches. He stayed super active on top, which kept Rory from being active on the bottom.
Yeah, do you feel like Schwass was in any real danger during that round, or what? Because I always have a difficult time. I see a fight differently when you have somebody who's so strong on the ground and so strong on their back. I wonder if he was really in any danger during that time. He took a lot of shots.
Yeah,
but was
he
he
took
in
a lot of
danger?
shots, but I don't think he necessarily was in danger.
Right.
But you're always in danger if you're losing the fight, and he definitely lost that first round. So he's in danger of losing this fight because he's 1 round behind.
Well, I was taught, man, you're always in danger on your back, man. You got to get up, make something happen.
If you're on your back, you're losing the fight. And maybe you aren't, but you always have to assume that because some of these judges aren't always super experienced.
Ooh,
Good
big
right hand by Garrett.
starting out. Uses jab, uses kicks, man. He is definitely the way longer guy. I need to be holding back here.
Yeah, he could be a little more active here, especially after the first round that he had. You would think that he'd use it as a little bit of momentum. Seems like Schwass is having a hard time pulling the trigger. I think it's because Garrett is so much longer than him. I think he's a little worried that he's going to catch one coming in.
Most definitely.
If he's apprehensive about that, maybe he should work to get the takedown and get on top on the ground instead of being on the bottom. Nice little spinning back kick by Garrett.
Oh, big right.
Rocked him pretty good. Dropped him to a knee. Seems like he's recovering pretty well.
Coming up on 1 minute left in this second round of the matchup between Tim Garrett and Rory Schwartz.
We got a lot different look here in this second round. And all stand up when last round was all on the ground.
Oh, big.
Good
Oh.
shot.
He's got it out. Oh, we lost a lot.
Yeah, we got some leg battles here. This is always the worst place to be in the gym, man. I hated these 50-50 leg battles. Because you never know. And some people have too much pride, they end up getting hurt. Not me.
No way. Oh, man.
I'm not playing with my ankles.
I'm not playing with no ankles, no knees.
Got the reverse heel hook
there,
here. This
right?
is a very dangerous submission right here, and he is rolling the wrong way.
Yes. That's the thing. You can roll in these positions, man, and hurt yourself even more than what could happen. You know what I mean? You gotta know how to defend these things just as well as being able to do them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. And Garrett's doing a really good job. Good battle there. That leg battle, man. That's a tough game to play, man. And they're both doing a really good job at that, especially as amateurs. That was very impressive.
Yeah, that's high level stuff, and that's something that we have the benefit of being able to see that, because we're so up close. And I hope everybody who's watching at home is able to really pay attention to how those guys were sort of switching and transitioning and really battling right there.
I mean, that was truly high level stuff right there. I mean, I was squirming watching that happen. That was making me nervous.
One thing I did take note of, and I always, I try to look at the sort of subtle things, but Garrett was a little slow to get up and get into his chair right there too. I don't know if he's gassed or if he's a little tired, but yeah, he looks a little gassed right now. So that'll be something to watch coming to this third round, especially after he's been pretty dominant throughout the fight so far.
He's definitely, you can tell in there, he's using a lot of energy. He's being very explosive on the ground and while standing. So, it could be taking its toll, but we'll see.
Yeah, and I just realized, I just talked about how you was training with Josh near the passing, and Josh is in his corner. Man, Josh has cornered me for a couple of my fights. I feel like, man, I'm kind of nervous that he's here, man. I look up to that guy a lot, man. That is a veteran in this sport.
Definitely.
A little slow to start round 3 here. Garrett with the orange trunks and Schwass with the black and gray.
So how would you guys put this in your mind? If you're a judge right now, how are you judging this? I mean, he's very active off his back, but Garrett is on top, and you know what I mean? And first round he was landing a lot of shots, so it's kind of hard to score this one.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Garrett got the first round. That second round, I mean, that's all on that's their personal views, man.
How you see it.
I'd like to see Garrett get a little more aggressive here. I mean, he's had success on the feet.
He had a very strong start. Looks to be fading maybe a little late here, but they're just slow.
Nice body kick there by Schwass. It's definitely a range thing with Schwass too. You can tell that he's been battling to try to get in close enough to do some real damage to Garrett.
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of fighting himself when he's fighting Garrett. Well, good combo there by Garrett, and ends up getting a bit of I guess you would call it a takedown. He landed right into the mount.
It was more like Schwass just went down on his own there to be on his back. I mean, it might be good in the gym, but that's not a good way for an MMA fight.
No, that looks bad to the judges. But now look at us here in another leg battle.
Yeah, a lot of strength there by Schwass to to move Garrett off of him just pure with his leg strength.
Having both legs in between, Rory having both legs in between his legs, it's going to be tough to get a heel hook or an ankle lock or something like that. He needs to be in more of a 50-50 position.
Now both guys throwing shots with their legs tied up. Like, this is crazy, man.
Yeah, this is, I mean, they got quite a bit of a little chess match going here.
Rory's reaching, he just doesn't have it right.
Yeah, and Garrett's got it too. That's the thing. These guys are battling each other, but I mean, it's going to be tough to ankle lock a guy named Gumby, or the Rubber Man, as I would like to say, because Gumby is owned by somebody else.
There you
There's
have
a
it.
fight.
Man.
Well, I mean,
That's a hard one to score there.
yeah. You know what?
It really is.
I'll give it to Garrett because he got up faster and put his hands in the air. You know? And that's the only thing. That's the only thing that gives it to him, man. Those two last rounds are really tough to judge.
Yeah, great performance by Schwass too, considering the crazy long 2-year layoff. Man, that's a heck of a fight to come back into the sport on. Facing an opponent like Garrett.
Yeah, definitely. After a 2-year hiatus, man, hats off to him, man. He held his own against a very tough, big, strong opponent. Didn't look bad.
No, not at all. Nothing to hang your head about for sure. You can kind of see that Garrett is kind of losing confidence while Rory's just kind of got his hands on his hips and pacing back and forth. I think he's nervous for the decision while Garrett is pretty confident about the decision.
Right, and it's another one of those situations where you see these guys records. And you have somebody like Garrett at 4-4, and you look at that record and you're like, oh, he's 4-4. That means he's an average fighter. That is not the case at all. You saw a lot of really nice skills on display by Garrett there. Yeah. And I feel like I say this way too often, but this is one of those situations where you don't want to be a judge. Like there's no way that I mean, do you really? How can you scientifically, and consistently judge a fight like that, like what we saw in those last 2 rounds?
I mean, these judges really have to have their thinking caps on for this one because I mean, they're gonna have to really take a step back and think about this one long and hard to see really, I mean, how this happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecard for this decision. Our judges score this contest 30, 27, 30, 27, and 29, 28, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Tim the Wrecker Garrett.
There you have it, Tim Garrett, your winner here tonight at Caged Aggression 21, the champion.